A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the WPA Yalin Men's World 8 Ball Championships from the Claudelands Event Centre here in Hamilton, New Zealand. This is a quarter-final match between Conrad JUSZCZYSZYN and Ryan Yuan. It's a race to 10, winner breaks, and joining me in the booth for this one is big reddish Eric Hallefson. Morning, Eric.
Good to be with you guys again. We're in for a good one here. Tough to pick a favorite. I'm gonna go with JUSZCZYSZYN on the experience. Yuan's had a great tournament so far.
Yeah, and we agreed before the start that neither of us know too much about him, but he has had some big scalps during this tournament. He's beaten Carlo Biardo, he's beaten his fellow countryman Sui Chia Chen, and also Mario He. And in the last round, overcame another Pole, Mieszko Fortunski. So maybe there's a little bit of revenge to come from Conrad JUSZCZYSZYN. He's had a pretty good run as well. He's beaten Gerson Martinez Boza from Peru in round 183. Kashyap Chowdhury, he beat 8-1 in the losers round. And then Adrian Prasad, the youngster from America. And then Simon Coural, also a fellow Pole in the previous round. So it is winner breaks, Eric. We started with 64. We're down to just 8.
Sue going from the side rail. I saw him warming up. That was the break he was practicing in the warm-ups. This is the break that all the players that did well last year went with. Seen players go from the middle a little more this year. But this one is definitely effective if executed properly. Be going for the 14 in the right side pocket here. There goes the 14. Good early signs for Sue.
Well, I was watching this guy warm up, and I tell you, I've not seen many better strokes than this guy possesses. Absolutely beautiful cue action. Really, really is. Smooth as silk.
Yeah, a little reminiscent of Wu Kun Lin, his countrymen. Probably play a lot together.
What do you see here,
Bit of cluster over by the... Yeah, a bit of cluster over with the 9-7-13. Have to get another camera angle to see if the 9 passes. If it does, you can kind of open up the area running into the 7. Looks like the 9 does pass. So if he gets any kind of angle going to the left off the 9, or even a straight in on the 9, he can take care of the 13. Looking like a good opening rack here for Sue. There's that straight in he wanted on the 9.
Yeah, not afraid to leave a bit of distance as well, Eric. So confident start here from the Taiwanese.
Nice shot. On point there.
Cued it beautifully.
12 lies Yeah, 12 lies a little better for the 8, but he's going to have to get in a small area to be able to pocket the 12. Looks like he's actually considering taking the 10 next. Just a question of cue ball control here, or whether he wants to kind of guarantee position on the 12, but looks like he's going to go 13, 10, 12. Yeah, you can see that just from the first rack here that he's not afraid to take on the tougher pocketing angles. You know, some players would have chose to shoot the 12 on an easier angle between the 4-7, but he's not afraid to take the bigger cut here and move the cue ball less.
I think a lot of it comes down to confidence in your cueing as well. I mean, he just doesn't look like missing.
Yeah, he must have played well so far. I've heard him touted as one of the stronger Taiwanese players for about 3 years now. This will be the furthest he's
Thing
made
is-
it in a major event, though.
Yeah, thing is, you don't see them in every single event, do you? So they kind of go under the radar to a certain extent, Eric.
Sure, they have their own set of kind of bigger than regional tours, but almost national tour within the country over there, and all the best players play. So they're still in good competitive action all the time, even if you don't see them. Break and run to open here from Julian.
Yeah, it's the perfect start, isn't it? Now, there are lots of other games going on at the moment, guys. Over on the main table, table one, Josh Filler is up against Chang Jung Lin. Well, 2012 World 8-ball champion Chang Jung Lin. He was actually held the title for 10 years because there wasn't an 8-ball World Championships for 10 years. So theoretically, he's the longest ever holder of the title of World 8-ball champion. Josh Filler has just taken the opening rack in that to lead 1-0. Woo Kun Lin, Taiwanese, of course, 2-1 up on Bader Alawahadi. And Alex Kazakis in action against another surprise for the tournament, you could say, Marco Teutscher. Eric.
Yeah, home country favorite, residing in New Zealand. He'll have the hometown fans on his side. Big win over Albin Ocean in the previous round.
Got a lot of love for that glove, I'm telling you. Beautiful colour.
A little short on the head
11
ball.
going to spin in?
Yeah.
Look at that, 11 goes in.
Good. Wide open break too.
If he carries on breaking like this, Eric, Conrad Musician might only get the lag as a shot. He might not get another shot.
I think in the matches we've seen, we haven't seen more than a 3 put together. But oddly, we haven't seen many players breaking from the side rail head ball either, which has proved in the past to be the most successful break. So let's see what he can get going here.
Didn't you say that? Didn't you see that was Shane Van Bonen, wasn't it, who won the world title last year, breaking from that exact position, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I believe like everyone in the Final Four was. So kind of just a little odd that players didn't pick up on that or kind of carry that over into this year. Not saying no one was, but I wouldn't say the majority were from the matches that I've been involved in. Typical 8-ball run out here, taking care of balls at one end of the table and then moving back down to the other end. One's going to have to go before the 6. 3 might have to go before the 2, so a bit of tight cue ball movement once he gets down table.
Faultless so far.
Natural position coming across table here. Want ideally a low angle to get towards the 6. That'll be fine. Bit of right spin. 6 in the same pocket.
He's passed every test so far.
Yeah, playing at good pace as well, not bringing the shot clock into play. Didn't want to be on the rail here. Cueing is going to be a little trickier. He's going to have to draw this ball. Just settle himself for a few seconds here.
He's drawing to the side rail here, Eric, with a bit of low left and check it across the face of the 8.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible there's a chance to follow around the 15, but if he has to stun that at all, he'll be drawing. It's like a draw. Nice hit.
Confident start. And in it goes, nicely done. Now we do have the young lady juniors playing at the moment as well. Plenty of action going on there. And let's just give you a few early scores in that. Sophia Mast is up against Linja Holstrom from Sweden. Now that is a really tough match for Sophia. 2-0 down at the moment. Savannah Easton has taken a 4-0 lead over Yalin Sherman. Now, Yalin Sherman got to the finals last year in Austria. So this is a good start from Savannah Easton. Shirin Vollery from Switzerland, 4-0 over American Leila Bellew. So plenty of action going on, Eric. Have you been watching much of the juniors at all?
I've been following the Canadian juniors. One of my students and good friends, Bryson Manipula, is in the quarterfinals. So we're looking for him to do well. Felix Vogel looked strong in the match that I did.
We have a little red, do we, in the midst?
Yeah, he puts in a lot of work himself too, but I've helped him out as much as I can.
Oh, another good break, but it looks dry, this one.
Yeah, square hit, just not coming up with anything on the break. Solid's all kind of stuck in the racking area. Stripes are easier, but it'll be tough to get at the 8 if he does go with stripes.
Now, when you're sat in your chair and your opponent is running racks, you just have to remain calm. Know that you're going to get an opportunity at some point. You're not always going to make a ball on a break. Maybe you'll have an unlucky scratch or something. So you have to remain ready in your chair. Stay focused and positive. So Conrad come in here. He won't look at it as 2-0 down. He'll be looking at it as his first opportunity to get into these balls and, you know, run a few racks himself.
Definitely. Played a nice opener there, taking care of the 8 problem immediately. 10 ball is going to be a good key ball for the 8 here. Nine, 13, 12, 15. Conrad's won a Predator Pro Series before in Puerto Rico last year. One of the most experienced international competitors. I believe it's the furthest he's been in a world championship, but he'll draw on the experience he's had over the last 5 years.
He's also a straight pool champion, Eric, in 2017. So he's pretty good in these little situations, you know, where you haven't got much room to maneuver the cue ball. It's all about patterns, taking the right ball. So he's got pedigree.
Yeah, straight pool being the other game most relative to 8 ball.
So nicely done and showing that he's up for the task as well. Takes it to 2-1. And he will be breaking, so it'll be interesting to see how he breaks. Will he go from the same position? Will he maybe risk one from the centre, Eric, to just open them up a bit more? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I haven't watched him in previous matches in this tournament, so I would just be guessing at what he would do. I don't see him as one of those players with like a big long stroke that can really let it out from the middle. It's a little bit easier to break from the side rail. And he'll have watched, you know, other tournaments. I believe he played in the World 8 Ball last year as well. I think we'll just have to see.
Well, I thought that Chang Jung Lin could be a potential banana skin in Josh Filler's quest to win his first ever World 8-ball title. But the German has raced away to a 3-0 lead, and Woo Kun Lin is doing the same. He's 3 racks clear at 4-1 over Bader Al-Wahadi. Marco Teutsch at it once again. He's 2-0 up on Alex Kazakis.
Yeah, he's going to the side rail.
Talk us through this rack, Eric. Tell us what you see on the break.
Okay, so he tried to cut the break. That break's going to have a better chance to make the head ball on the side, but it's going to lend to not having as open patterns throughout the whole dispersion of the balls, and that's what you see about 8 balls near the left long rail there. Fluked one in, he's still at the table. 111 is going to be the biggest problem.
I wondered if he's going to take that now, make the one with the 11.
Yeah, he'll definitely consider it if he can get through to it. Issue there is the 2 and 6 don't play that well. But yeah, if he doesn't take it first, he's going to have to break it out pretty quickly here. That can work.
Chance here,
13 with a
maybe.
bit of left spin. Yeah. Ooh, it's unlucky. Moved it, but still one block in the most obvious pocket. He's at least opened up a short side on the 11 if he wants to try to pocket it in the bottom left.
Yeah, going straight again for it here. Oh, how unlucky is that once again? Well, you said short side,
Yeah.
Eric, but not short side to the top right.
Sure. He has the 10, so he has maybe one more chance to recover and get better on it. Very tough to pocket it in the top right. It does go if he decides to. I mean, the way the cue ball's playing off the 10, it's going to be hard to get back to the 11, so it looks like he is going to go after it right now. Let's take second thoughts here. Big shot early in this match here. What happens if you call the wrong ball? Yeah.
He said one ball, didn't he? I'm sure he
At
said
first.
one ball. But he did make the one.
Yeah, tough shot there. Took a couple shots at breaking it out. Just didn't quite develop it properly. Happens in 8-ball. Didn't leave Julian too bad. Left him pretty good, really. Thin one on the 3 in the side. Positives for that is that the cue ball's coming back towards the 2-6, which needs to be rearranged. Oh, that's a smart shot there. How do you like that shot, Mark?
I was just going to say, what a smart shot that is. You beat me to it. Very, very smart. Hook it in behind his own ball, so to speak.
Yeah, open up the 2-6 as well. JUSZCZYSZYN could kick off the either short rail here and try to play the cue ball down near the close short rail. He had the ball first. Good shot. Might have left
a bit
3.
more of a bit more of a problem this time, though, I think. Is he going to try and cut this in this 3, or is he going to take it down to the corner?
I like the corner here, if you can see enough of it. Nice shot. Doesn't look like he has enough of the pocket on the 4, so he's going to have to get over to the right side of the table at some point.
Has to be careful here of the 7 ball. Doesn't want to tie Tied up with a 6.
Good shot. He's got the angle to come back across table now as well. Bit of cue ball movement in the next 3 shots, but everything's in the open. Just have to maneuver the cue ball properly. Doesn't want to be straight here.
I'm trying to get a look at his glasses to see if they are actually, you know, like the snooker specs that you can buy, like the upside down lenses. I don't think they are. I'm a glasses wearer, and I'm just wondering how he's coping. Whether sometimes he's looking over the top of those, or are they extra large lenses? Can't quite see.
Yeah, as with everything in pool, things are kind of advancing, and I think there's a lot of companies making glasses specifically for pool now. All the ones that the players are wearing now kind of look similar. I don't know the brand name or anything, but they kind of look similar design.
Yeah, Alison Fisher is wearing some now, and they're called snooker specs, her ones. I mean, of course, there are lots of other companies making them as well. I just had a pair made for myself in India, and my friend brought them over with him when he was over for a tournament last week, and I just can't get on with them. They're those varifocals where it changes, you know, from when you're down, you're kind of looking close up is okay, but then when it's further away, it takes a little while for the glasses to adjust. So maybe I need to get used to them, but a weird experience. I think it just takes a bit of time to get used to them. Chang Junglin has won a rack back 3-1 now. Wu Kunlin running away with it 5-1. And Marco Teutsch extends his lead to 3-0 now over Alex Kazakis. What a shock that would be. Great player, of course, but hasn't really done anything on the big stage, Marco. But he's a lovely chap, originally from Holland, now residing in New Zealand. And some kind of thought, you know, in his home country, he might go on a little bit of a roll. And he certainly has. Looking for a place in the semi-final.
Yeah, Kunlin now to a big lead there. He had a great final 16 match against Alex Pagulayan yesterday, breaking and running about 6 of the games that he won.
Unbelievable comeback from Christina to catch this morning. She lost the first two sets over Margaret Fefilova, and she came back to win 3-2, Christina to catch. And she's earned herself a quarter-final matchup against Shasha Liu. Rublin Ahmet beating her fellow Filipino, Cesca Centeno. A lot of people were fancying Cesca to go far, but it was Rublin, two-time World Temple champion, that went through. She'll face Wei Xiu Chen. And Jasmine Ocean survived a little bit of a scare as well against Amber Chen. She now earned a matchup with Chihiro Kawahara and Kelly Fisher. What a match this is going to be against Siming Chen. That is your quarter-final lineup for the ladies. Okay, back to the men's 8-ball. What do we see here, Eric?
I think the key to this rack is going to be getting on the 3 properly. The 6 lends very well to getting in the proper position for the 3. But ideally, I think he'll be looking at some kind of combination of 6-3-7. Those are the toughest balls. So 2-1, trying to get as straight as he can on the 6. 7-4-3. One 6-3-7-4, pardon me. There he is. He's got that angle. Kind of cues the ball in the middle and then comes down when he's hitting draw, similar to Fedor Gorst. Just taking a close look at this. It might be partially blocked by the 8. Looks like he's okay from that angle. It's tight. So tight that he's considering the 4.
Well, that could have gone wrong.
Yeah. Just checking if he's blocked the bottom left for the 8. If he has, the shot on the 8 is going to be tough. Could play an aggressive shot here and try to draw back and get straight enough on the 3 that you're able to hold for the 8 in the side.
Oh, come on, there's no problem here. Just draw into the 12 over the corner. Just flick it out the way. Up on the 7, no problem.
Are you ready to play, Mark? Are you ready to get in the box, Mark? Are you itching?
I'll stay on the outside. Thank you very much. I can't stand the heat, Eric.
I think he did try that shot I was talking about, getting straight on the 3, but he's got too much angle now. Tough to predict here.
Oh, this is confidence, playing it left-handed, going middle table, leaving himself a shot at it into this bottom right-hand corner.
Looking to distance himself early here.
He started confidently, Eric, and he's carrying it on. He must be feeling good inside, not afraid once again to leave himself a little bit of a more tougher shot. Kind of forced on him, of course, by a couple of poor little
nice shot.
Positional shots.
Watch out for the cue ball. He's okay on the cue ball. Yeah, like you were saying, Mark, I mean, the other option there would have been to run into the 10-15 and just try to get perfect on the 8, but he's definitely not afraid to take on tougher pocketing.
Big thanks to our main event sponsors, Yalin, of course. This is a WPA sanctioned event. Pro Billiard Series sponsors our Predator Group, Massey, Kamui, Vent Billiards Corporation. Thank you so much, guys. Medalla Light, Rumza Puerto Rico, Samsung TV Plus, and the little monster. Now, last time I had a Medalla Light was 297 days ago, Eric, in Puerto Rico when we were there. And I took the decision there to kind of change my lifestyle. I had a little bit of a health scare with a mini stroke. And just mentioning that because today, John Mora is celebrating, I forget how many years, but sobriety. So good work to John Mora, one of your fellow countrymen on the clean living, Mr. Smooth himself. So congratulations to you, John Mora, on staying clean. Well done.
Yeah, good friend of mine. He was on about 3 years. So it's great.
Yeah, that's right. 3 years, correct.
Yeah, nothing down for Julian here. Super tough table for JUSZCZYSZYN. 4 balls along the left long rail. Kind of one of each suit in the 8. That area is definitely going to have to be rearranged. Could get into it with the 14, but the openers on the stripes are tough. You might even consider playing safe off the first shot here.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
draw
always
back off the 1 ball.
Yeah, it's always tempting to try and elect to suit first, and I wouldn't blame him if he does. But the tables are very tough.
I think he got a
Missed the
skid
first
there.
ball.
I think he got a skid. He's gesticulating towards that kind of thing. You know, he pointed at the 7 ball as if to say, I got a skid there.
Yeah, he thought he made the ball, just didn't go on the path that he thought he struck it at.
He can't have missed
Still
it by
tough.
that much, Eric. Pros don't miss balls by that amount.
I mean, he could play something really aggressive here, comboing the 10 into the 14 and pushing the 6 towards the balls on the left long rail. Bit of an odd call here, banking at a ball on an open table, but definitely trying to devise a plan to open up those other balls. He's definitely looking at the 14 and how it plays into that stack of 4. Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, this is what I find fascinating, Eric, about 8 ball, because there's so many different, you know, a lot of the times personality comes into it, and, you know, players have their favourite shots that they prefer over others as well. So I'm enjoying watching this because we see one way, players see another sometimes, you know.
So this is an interesting shot here. He's going to play the 12 into the 14 with speed, but the angle he's hitting the 14 at, it's going to go into the 415. It probably won't open up the 8, but he's definitely making some progress towards rearranging that area there. Oh, I missed it. Well, he's in trouble now. Not that it's over. There's still 4 stripes left, but make him an underdog to run out here. Does have the 13, which can play into the 15. Might be forced to bank the 8 if he even gets to the point of opening up the 15. Little straight. Some angle going to the left. Ideally, he'd want to have a little more angle so he can have a little more energy with the cue ball going into the 415. We'll see how it opens up here.
Play this with a bit of pace.
Yeah. He's opened it up. Oh. Does he have a shot? I think he does by his body language. Yeah, yeah. See if he takes on the bank on the 8. I mean, we can see by his first shot choice of this runner, he's not afraid to bank a ball. Ooh. I wonder, I mean, maybe he might have just been trying to block the pocket. I don't think he would have missed it by that much if it was actually available. Might have been a small swerve and just under-swerved the ball.
Just seemed like a funny little contact, that one. It just seemed to brush across the face of it. Perhaps it's exactly how he played it, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, just got stuck in a spot there where the breakout had to happen too late and kind of was trusting to luck a little bit. Didn't quite get it. Creative 3-ball combo available for JUSZCZYSZYN here, but he's going to pass on it.
Marco Teutcher now 5-0 up, halfway to the 10 he needs for a place in the semi-final over Greece's Alex Kazakis. Chang Jung-Lin has pulled 2 back now. He trails Josh Villa 4-2. Woo Kun Lin 4 ahead against Beda Al-Wahadi at 6-2. You're up to date, guys.
Tell you what, JUSZCZYSZYN's leaving the problem area till the end here. Two must pocket directly from around where the 1 is right now. He'd be coming back across 2 rails, and Very pinpoint position for the cue ball on the 4, but it's possible. Big shot here for JUSZCZYSZYN. Game number 6. Looking to close the gap. Pretty well played. Just enough angle that it is missable. But the position's pretty natural, so you can focus on the pocketing here.
Four ball kind of packet. Oh, shot.
Shot for the cue ball. It's just okay. Nice shot.
I think he's on the 8, Eric.
Yeah, just saying it could have ran right into it and froze on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have gone very, very wrong, that one. Now, you mentioned Bryson earlier on, the great junior from Canada. He's in amongst some great company in the quarterfinal. Kanazawa from Japan is through to the quarterfinals. So is Felix Vogel. We all know about Felix Vogel. Watched him earlier on. And what about Mika van Berkel as well? A great, great player. I believe he won one of the junior events, didn't he? I think he won the European, the Josh Villa junior event in Fulda earlier on. Mika van Berkel, watch out for him, the great Dutch player. So what a great foursome that is, waiting for the winners of the losers qualification. And I believe we're going to have Adrian Prasad in action on this table afterwards. Not confirmed, but I'll let you know, guys, before the end of this match. Back to it then. Conrad breaking off, trading 4-2. These players looking for a place in the semi-finals of the WPA Yalin World 8-Ball Championships of 2024. No chance of that one rolling off. Two and three need precision position. I think he's okay here, just to play a little draw shot from the 2 to the 3, then the 4. Just a deft little draw maybe for the 6 into the bottom right. Just a little nudge maybe, didn't need it. So now this, the key shot. Draw back to somewhere round about where he is now. Always like to get back to the rail and bounce off again. And now can just drop this in. Checking to see if the 8-ball does go into the bottom left. Yeah, so calls his 30-second extension. Just wants to give this the respect and time it deserves. Big shot this, to get back within 1 and breaking off to go all square. judged that very, very nicely indeed. So this 8-ball then for 4-3. Nicely done. Now some illustrious company for the winner of this World 8-ball event, reigning champion, of course, Shane Van Boning. The year before that, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. Who can forget that? That great win in Puerto Rico. And Chang Jung Lin was the previous 10 years earlier in 2012. Before that, 2011, Dennis Orcolo lifted the trophy, beating Niels Feijen in the Philippines in the final. And a certain Carl Boys won it in 2010. Niels Feijen on the losing side once again. And then Ralph Souquet, Ronnie Alcano, Wu Jiajing, and Efren Reyes all the way back in 2004, the first world champion. Of course, in his hometown of Manila, beating Marlon Manalo, whose name is going to join on the trophy this year. It's going to be a different one to last year, that's for sure. Well, it's going to be a completely new name, isn't it? Because none of those players, well, apart from Chang Jung Lin, actually, if Chang Jung Lin could do it, it would be the second time he's had his name on the trophy. But at the moment, of course, he's embroiled in that battle. And he's up against Josh Filler. Josh Filler, one of the favourites to win this title. And he's 5-2 up at the moment, the German, over the Taiwanese. Finally, Alex Kazakis has pulled a rack back. He now trails Marco Teutsch by 5 racks to 1. Back to this one. Makes a ball. Yeah, 6 in a very, very awkward position. May have to take the 2 on here. Now, what kind of angle does he have on this round 3 rails? Well, can you believe he's missed the 2 ball? Maybe his eyes flicked away from it. It's normally the reason you're missing those kind of balls. Your eyes tend to follow where you want the cue ball to go, trying to look for the outcome. So, been away from the table for a little while now. Let's see what Ryan Julian can do. Obvious problem, the green 14, but he can get short side on it. One ball a little bit in the way of playing for position off the for the 14 off of the 11. Going to get on it right away. Look at this for a shot through the gap. Absolutely perfect. Great shot.
Your apologies, guys. Just had a bit of technical difficulty, but I'm back.
I think Eric's kind of back. Breaking up a bit there, Eric.
Can you hear me, Mark?
That's absolutely perfect. Hear you loud and clear. Big Red is back, ladies and gentlemen. The day is saved. So yeah, Conrad got in first in this particular rack. Missed a straightforward 2 into the side pocket, believe it or not. And then Ryan played an unbelievable positional shot to get onto his one awkward ball, the very first shot. And from there, it's been pretty straightforward, plain sailing for the Taiwanese. And it looks like he's going to gain the 2-rack advantage again, Eric, at 5-3.
Yeah, 5-3 and breaking. Looking to pull away here. He did have a 3-game lead earlier in the match, but still holding the advantage.
Bader Al-Wahadi is on a comeback. He was 5-1 down. It's now 6-4 to Wu Kunlin. Still 5-1 between Toicha and Kazakis. And Josh Filler now 6-2 up on Chang Junglin, just 4 away from a place in the semi-final.
Yeah, Filler's so tough to beat. I don't think he's really had much of a threat this week so far. Shuyan's made the head ball on the side a couple times. Been hitting the rack nice and square with good power. Good recipe for positive results on the break. See how he does here. There goes the head ball on the side again. That's the break, Mark. I mean, he's making it look easier than it is, but if you get the speed right and you get the general contact point right on the rack, that ball is heading towards there. It's the most wired ball in the rack.
Just explain to me, Eric, exactly what he's trying to do there. What is the objective when he's breaking off like that? Where is he trying to hit on the head ball? Where is he hitting the cue ball? And what speed is he hitting it at?
I'd call it maybe, depends how hard the breaker breaks, but assuming they're a hard breaker, it's probably about 75% speed. And he's breaking from, say, the left side of the table. He's aiming just slightly to the right of the square of the angle. That'll push the one to the right on your screen, or the head ball directly to the right on your screen and into the side pocket. But again, it's not as easy as it looks. That's why, if it was that easy, all players would do it. But the players that have done well have found that. Similar in the Predator 10 ball series, they broke from the side rail and tried to make that head ball on the side.
So
the thing is, you can't hit it.
But what makes it so difficult, though? Is it trying to hit it with pace and accuracy? Is that where the difficulty comes in?
Yeah, and just smoothness as well, too. Like you want a good flat cue ball. You don't want the cue ball kind of bounding into the rack like you are from the middle. Takes a good smooth hit. And consistency in the rack as well.
Is it something that you teach in your break-in? Do you teach break-in, and do you ever teach this break or not?
Yeah, I mean, if someone was going to a tournament like this, this is the break that we would try to learn. There's so many different breaks now, right? You got the 9 on the spot sometimes. You're playing 9 ball, 10 ball, 8 ball. But if I, even for myself, or if one of my students was going to a tournament like this, I would work on that break specifically, because it is the most consistent if you're able to execute it well.
All good stuff.
And the thing is, he's hitting it thick enough too that he's getting good dispersion on the rack. Like if you hit it a little too thin, you're going to jam up a bunch of balls near the long rails. Again, not being afraid to be further from the ball. Could have kind of stunned that one over and got closer to the 8. But very confident in his pocketing. With authority.
Yeah, good stuff from the Taiwanese. Now, I've got a couple of questions for you, Eric. I thought we'd have a little bit of fun and test your general knowledge. You don't know anything about this. I do love springing surprises on the guys that I commentate with. Now then, we're going a little bit upmarket here, Eric. In which well-known Shakespeare play did Shakespeare reference billiards? He's actually mentioned billiards in one of his plays, Shakespeare.
You got to give me a hint. Is it one of the more known ones or lesser known ones?
It's one of the more known ones, yeah.
I'll go with, I don't know. I'll go with Macbeth.
It was actually
Buzzer?
Antony and Cleopatra.
Okay.
Antony and
Didn't know
Cleopatra.
that. Was it just
Here's
a small
another one.
reference, or did it actually? Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't a table. There wasn't a table on the stage or anything like that. They didn't play a game. It was some kind of reference. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him well. 2 ball or not 2 ball? Back to the serious stuff. Ryan breaking off. 6-3 up.
Hit it well. Just missed the head ball on the side, so this is the break that JUSZCZYSZYN needed.
So is that one of the breaks, Eric? If you don't make the one in the side, you know, the head ball in the side, are you likely to get another ball, maybe the 4-railer, one of the wing balls going all the way around the table and dropping, or not? Is that your only real chance? You're just looking at a lucky ball otherwise?
Yeah, so the head ball is by far the one that'll go in the most consistently. The 4-railers can go in, but they don't go in generally, no matter how you hit it. They don't go in as much in 8-ball because there's more balls on the table. Like the 10-ball rack is the same shape, but there's less balls for it to get through all the way around the table. But yeah, you can make the 4-railers too, breaking from the side rail.
Gotcha.
The ball behind the 1 to the right, let's say he's breaking from the left side of the table, the ball behind the 1 to the right of it can cross over 1 rail as well. But yeah, he's pretty much going all in on the 1, and anything else, or on the head ball. Anything else other than that would be a fluke, really.
Solid's looking pretty good here for JUSZCZYSZYN. 7 ball to follow here. And you'd think he's out, Eric.
Yeah, looking good. You know, any player getting to this stage of the tournament definitely has experience or at least very good intuition for playing 8-ball. Too many racks have been played for any kind of luck to have gone on this long. JUSZCZYSZYN's been going from the side rail as well. See if he can get that head ball break going.
Making sure he nominates. Yeah, just heard in the background there some encouragement from his Polish team friends. We're not actually in the arena, Eric and I, we're remote. Eric is in Toronto in Canada, and I'm in Thailand actually at the moment in Pattaya. So we're commentating remotely, so we can't bring you all what we see, but I did just detect a little bit of Polish encouragement there in the background. Eric, now then, you remember the last time this event was played, it was in Austria, in Klagenfurt, in the hometown of Jasmine and Albin. Now, did you go to the opening ceremony? Now, I went to the one before, and they did like a classical music kind of intro and opening ceremony. Was it the same thing this year, or last year rather?
I have to admit I didn't go. I think I might have been a little jet lagged or whatever my half excuse was, but I did not go to it. So does that put me at a disadvantage for this question?
Well, it does, but I'll leave that question until after this. Conrad breaking off.
See, Conrad's cutting it a lot more. 8-ball on the side randomly. That's not a win in WPA rules. So this is something that doesn't come up much. He'll actually have the choice to break again or take the table as it lies. 8-ball will be spotted. Players will rarely choose to re-break. Yeah. Players will rarely choose to re-break. Go ahead, yeah.
Why is that? Just simply because they made a ball and they might not make one on the next one, right?
100%, yeah. So the table would have to be like in really bad shape to want to break again.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest to you there, if the 8-ball didn't actually spot on the spot, it would, of course, have to go as close to its spot this side of the rack. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it would have tied it up a little more. But yeah, JUSZCZYSZYN definitely going for a heavier cut on the break, which can make the one, but will lead to not as open layouts for the rest of the rack.
Well, everything open now, Eric. That was a really nice shot he's played there. Now, can he drop in onto the 9-ball?
Yeah, he'll be looking to run the cue ball into the 1-6 here.
Be unlucky not to finish on it.
Oh, he tried to run into the 9 and missed it. Still going to be a couple options to get back across. 15 has to go before the 14, so this is okay.
On it this time.
Good rack from JUSZCZYSZYN. Wasn't straightforward. Just like that, we're within 1 here. High level match so far. Could be Conrad's first break-in run. Can't remember for sure, might have had one earlier. But showing here that he's able to put more than 1 rack at a time together.
Yeah, nicely done. So are you ready for your question as we look at the scores? Filler now 7-2 up on Chang Jung Lin. 7-4 over Beda Al Wahadi. How many Taiwanese will we have in the semi-finals? There's a possibility. Could be 3 of them. Marco Teutsch, 6-1 now over Alex Kazakis. Take your pick. Who do you fancy out of that lot, Eric?
Got to go with the king, Josh Filler.
The King Filler, the King Killer, not the King Chung or the King Kun Lin.
Yeah, I mean, I like Chung or Chang as well, but yeah, he's stuck there. Going to have to run a lot of racks to get back in that match. Oh, he got 1.
Are you ready for your question? Are you ready for your question?
Fire away.
Billiards was a relaxing pastime for which famous Austrian composer? Now, the reason I asked this was Albin Ocean's father-in-law is actually a classical music composer, and they used the theme of this particular musical genius in their opening ceremony back in 2022. I'll leave it with you.
Didn't know that.
Famous Austrian composer.
I'll have to go Mozart off the first gas.
Well, you know your classical music, Mr. Big Red. Congratulations. The right answer. It was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Well done.
Nice.
He used to love a game of billiards.
Cube will end up in a funny position here, but he's on the 1. He will be favoring solids because the 11's in a bad spot. 4 is going to have to be taken care of.
Yeah, 2 ball passes. He did come to have a look at that as well. Wow.
Barely made that one. If he has to bank the 4, it will be available in the bottom right. I think he's going to look at ways to get into it. 2 would be a possibility. 7 would be a possibility as well. Could actually, if he wanted to get aggressive, he could actually play over into it now. Little risky because we're playing the 3 into the side with a little speed. I think it's worth the reward, though.
Just wondering, would you risk playing the 2 off the edge of the 15 to move the 15 out of the way?
I thought about that. I feel like it could jam thick. I feel like you have to hit the 15 very thinly. He has to go for it now. He doesn't really have the angle to go into the 14. This is tougher than it looks. You're talking about hitting like 1/10 of the 15 here. Otherwise, the 2 is going to go thick onto the short rail. Tried to hit it, but just had to hit it so thinly that he missed the whole ball. He's got the bank on the 4. Yeah, he has the bank on the 4, and he kind of played the cue ball in a way that if he didn't catch that rub on the 15, he would have the 4. Smart shot.
All the way.
Got it.
This to tie it up at 6-6. And a chance to take the lead for the first time in the match. Well, what a time to do it. Needs this cue ball to run. Watch out, 13. Watch out, 13.
Yeah,
Whoa,
he had to come through traffic there. Big turning point here mid-match. Huge underdog to pocket the 5. I mean, he can come at it maybe 2 rails out of the swinging out of the corner. Gonna go 1 rail, too much traffic through there. Tough. Only thing to fault him on there is maybe I would have hit a little more speed in case I was running into one of those balls. There was a chance to hit one of them and still kind of push it out of the way.
Just can't get ahead, can he?
Yeah.
Never been in front in this match so far. Always been chasing it. Well, Chang Jung Lin has won a couple of racks back. It's now 7-4 to Josh Villa.
Yeah, probably got control of the table and held it for a couple games. Cue ball's kind of playing towards the side here, but if he feels like it's going directly in, he'll just kind of draw around it. Good finish from Julian, and he'll have to break in rack number 13. Definitely shown he's a threat to break and run some, and he's getting near the finish line. So his goal will be to run the whole set out here.
Yeah, Conrad Musician, we spoke earlier, the reigning Puerto Rico Men's Open champion, and that tournament will be on again this November 11th to the 15th. And we also have the 2024 Women's World 10 Ball Championships played at the same time, and we still have the Women's World 9 Ball Championships going on at the moment in this very, very beautiful Clydesdale Event Centre here. Just to remind you of the quarter-finalists there, Fisher, that's Kelly Fisher, will play Siming Chen. Chihiro Kawahara is up against Jasmine Ocean. Rubelin Armit will play Wei Siu Chen. And Shasha Liu will play Christina Tkach. That's the ladies' quarterfinals. And they're coming up 4:30. And I've just had confirmation it will be Christina Tkach against Shasha Liu on this table following this match. Back to this one then, Eric. What do we got?
Yeah, just quickly, Liu was really the one to watch for in the women's tournament. She won the World Championships when she was like 16, and probably won about 5 or 6 other major titles in the in the next 5 to 10 years after that, but hasn't really competed in about 5 years. This is her first Predator Pro Series overall. So if anyone hasn't had a chance to watch her play in recent times, definitely tune in. Great player.
Yeah, got to the final of the China Open as well, didn't she? Sorry to interrupt you. Just to finish that off, yeah, China Open finalist against Han Yu, I believe it was.
Yeah, 7 and the 14 are going to be the problem here for Julian. He's looking to see if he can pocket it right now. Looks like the 7's in the way. Looks like he's going after it, though.
Love the way he gets the problem balls out of the way straight away, doesn't he?
Yeah, it was a foul. I was thinking, even if he were to pocket the 14, the 7 is a kind of a mess with his natural perception there. I guess, yeah, but that's how urgent he thought it was to get that 14 out. So a bit of a misjudgment from Julian there. Good break for JUSZCZYSZYN. Did he not pocket a solid before this, Mark? Sorry, did he not pocket a solid before this? Am I misreading this? Oh, pardon me. Yeah, pardon me. Julian was shooting stripes. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, he was shooting stripes. Yeah, he tried to make the 14, didn't he? Caught the 7.
Right.
We'll let you off, Eric. It's okay. So,
bit of an
safety
odd one
shot there.
Yeah. Fourteen's available in the top bottom left. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
It's not often you see that with ball in hand, is it, Eric? Making your opponent's ball and playing a safety.
Sure, I didn't have a full read on the table because I was just mixed up on the suits there for a second. But yeah, there must have been a reason why he tried to play it like that. Great try.
He has the
So
1-6.
first game, yeah, first game with kind of multiple innings here. About 13 games in, and I think it's the first time both players made some half mistakes. Oh, see how that 1 plays onto the 3. Gonna need a closer camera angle. Looks kind of wired. If anything, he might have to cut the 3 kind of thin in the corner pocket. Doesn't seem too worried about it, so it looks like it's ended up okay. Bit of cue ball movement here in the next 3 shots. Not ideally on the 2. Might have to play a power draw all the way back to the right long rail and back across for the 3. How's that shot?
Played that well. Played that well. Beautifully struck. Really is a straight cueist, isn't he? Reminds me of Neil Robertson a lot, the snooker player, the way he cues. Left-hander as well. Very straight shooter. Likes to hit the ball.
Missable pot on the 7, especially considering the pressure here. Expect him to get it, but he'll have to check his nerve on this one.
Perfect.
Right in the heart. Yep.
Yeah, very nicely done. Now, I remember being in Las Vegas for the first ever time at the big expo there, the CSI, when we have all the 300 and odd tables, and then we had the Pro Billiard Series going alongside it as well. It was the first time I ever met Conrad JUSZCZYSZYN, and I was commentating and I was worried about how to say his name. So I literally just went up to him and said, I'm struggling with your name. How do you spell it? I mean, you know, it's worth a fortune in Scrabble, but I don't know how to say it. And he said, well, if you imagine, it just rhymes with musician, basically. And the first match I commentated on him, he was actually playing against Nurkioi. And the scoreboard, if you look at the bottom left hand of your screen there, you see the word musician. And then right next to it was just OI for oi. And it was like kind of one extreme to the other. And that memory's always stuck with me. One of my first ever commentaries, that was, on Conrad JUSZCZYSZYN.
Oh, I'll have to improve my pronunciation there. I was close, but not. But if that's the exact way, I'll amend myself.
Well, there's nothing to say I'm right. My memory's not what it was. He could have told me something completely different back in 2021, Eric. Let's just go to some scores again for you quickly, guys. Marko Tojca moving one closer, 7-3 up now on Alex Kazakis. 7-5 now. Shang Jung Lin is on a comeback against Josh Villa. Woo Kun Lin is now 8-6 up against Bader Al-Wahadi. No one running away with any of them anymore, apart from Marko Tojca, who is on 7-3. I think the players have taken a quick time out, so we're going to do the same. Be back in just a couple of minutes, guys. We're going to leave you with some music. Well, it wasn't a concerto. It was just a little bit of music for you. Back with the musician breaking, trying to level it up once more. They didn't break too well, but he's made a ball.
Yeah, that's that ball that I was talking about that can go cross-side. I don't know if we have a replay or not, but the ball just went right over to the right long rail and then crossed over in the left side pocket. And it'll happen more often on the heavy cut than the kind of more square one that Julian was hitting. But that's actually a wired ball there. It won't go in often, but it is an element of using that break.
Interesting. Learning more about the break every single time I commentate with you, Eric. I know you're a big chap. Now, do you have what you'd call a big break, one of the bigger breaks of the players?
I really got to ramp it up to get over 25 miles an hour. But, you know, I think a lot of breaking is about understanding what kind of rack you're using, if it's a template, if it's hand rack, different breaks in 9-ball. A lot of the breaks about just kind of contact points. It's not really power breaks anymore like it was in the old days. I think looking to open up the 8 here. Must be available somewhere because I believe he would have hit it if he actually was trying to open it up. Probably available on the side.
Talking of big breaks, we actually have Jeff DeLuna in town where I am at the moment, in Pattaya. He's been over here for the Chinese 8-ball tournament that we recently had. And people will keep goading him, you know, to come on, show us your biggest break, show us your biggest break. And I saw him make 5 balls in a rack of 9-ball on a Chinese 8-ball table.
I think I saw that clip.
Did you?
Well, he can ramp it up to probably about 35 if he catches it well.
Yeah, he can't break hard if there's any place he goes with a low ceiling, because he'll knock himself out. 7-6 now, Josh Filler over Chang Jung Lin. Well, you said it was unlikely. You never know, though. You also said he's got to put a little bit of a pack together. He's obviously done that. 7-6 he trails Josh Filler now on the comeback trail. 7-2 down he was.
JUSZCZYSZYN will be looking to draw the cue ball between the 1-6. Might be a little worried about getting enough draw to the angle. Might be worried about crashing into the 6 if he tries to draw it. Just making sure here.
Oh, he's done it again.
I don't believe he has the 8. Jumper swerve is going to be available, but this is a big shot in this match here.
He's done it before, hasn't he, Eric? He did it on the final solid last time on the 5-ball, if you remember. Had to kick out of trouble, left ball in hand, and didn't go level, went 2 behind again. And it's kind of a repeat here. He needs to jump this and make it. He's got the Predator air rush out. He's missed it. He's put it in the wrong pocket. Loss of rack.
We don't see that very often. Yeah, don't see that very often, but 8 cannot be fluked into another pocket. It's lost a game. Wow, what a big turn there. Watch this.
There's that break again.
Yeah.
Also got just a little flick, didn't it, on the way?
Yeah, it wasn't actually the ball behind the 1, but that ball did promote another ball kind of going on that track.
Well, we're still no nearer to knowing who is going to be in our semi-finals. Bader Alawahadi isn't going anywhere. Now, Darren Appleton was singing Bader's praises on Facebook this morning, saying how great Bader played against him. He's come back against Woo Kun Lin. He now trails just by the odd rack at 8-7. 8-6 here. Conrad just cannot get his nose in front, or even level for that matter. Julien back, breaking, trying to make the head ball in the side pocket. Getting kicked away. Did make a ball though in the bottom right.
Yeah, that's another ball that can go in from the side rail. The very corner ball in the rack can go directly in the opposite corner sometimes. So all these little things here, Mark, I don't know, they're all coming up in this match. Little unlucky with the cue ball, ending up frozen on the short rail. Decision time for Julien here. Not sure if he can pass the 4 enough. The 5's available, but it's very tough. If he could see the 6, he'd be taking it. Yeah, everything's so tough here. He's just going to play safe.
Little tickle behind the 1, is it? Back to the rail.
So just for players at home, just recognizing that's how tough it is to make that 5. I mean, he had an open look at the 5, but the cue ball being on the rail and the distance from the cue ball to the object ball to the pocket, that's a very tough shot. And he wasn't even afraid to leave JUSZCZYSZYN something similar. This one's a little easier. See that? Tough shot. So good decision there from Julien. Little defensive, but it worked out for him.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit affected, Conrad, from those previous 2 racks that he should have won. But he hooked himself first on the final remaining solid, didn't he? The 5 ball, tried to kick out of it, gave ball in hand. And then there, hooking himself completely on the 8, having to jump it, made it in the wrong pocket and lost the rack again. And those little things, Eric, can give you scars, give you wounds that are hard to heal.
Yeah, they're hits to the confidence for sure. And then when you're faced with a shot like the 14, it's tough. Gonna go for the safe here. Got to be careful to cover the 7 as well. Looks like he has, just barely. Might be a swerve available for JUSZCZYSZYN. Oh, directly in. Yeah, I could see that there. You know, he had to cover everything up table and the 7. Just didn't quite get there on the 7. Small bit of nerves coming into play for both players here. You know, and as smooth as Julien's looked, this is the furthest he's ever been in a major tournament. So you got to know he'll be feeling some kind of nerve.
There's something to be said from having won a tournament before. It's kind of like you know how to win. You've been there before. It's no new feeling, but as anything new, it's like anything first time. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a nerve jangler for JUSZCZYSZYN.
Close match. Conrad to break.
Timeout is called, guys, so we're going to do exactly the same. We will leave you with a nice little bit of dance music for you to have a little jig around your room, wherever you are. And we'll be back with frame 16 very, very soon. Nicely poised JUSZCZYSZYN, one behind against Yalin. See you soon. And we are back, guys. Down goes the music. Up goes the temperature. Conrad breaking off, trying to draw level.
Nothing down.
Yeah, just lost the sound from the arena for some reason. Not sure why. Just to bring you up to date, guys, Chang Jung Lin actually drew level at 7-7 with Joshua Filler, but Filler has just taken the lead once again. Woo Kun Lin is now 8-8 with Bader Alawahadi. And listen to this, Alex Kazakis on his way back as well against Marco Teutscher. It's Teutscher, though, still leading by 7 racks to 5. So it's tight all the way round this Claudelands Event Centre in Hamilton, New Zealand. It's the WPA Yalin World Men's Ball, 8-ball World Championships. And it's Ryan Zhuyan back at the table after that dry break from Conrad JUSZCZYSZYN. Beautiful little shot there, Eric.
Yeah, opening up the first problem. Getting into a shot on the 7 where he can attack the 1 and the 5 in the right side pocket. You can get through this rack. Couple tight cue ball movements going on to the 1 or the 5. Ideally, if you can get straight on the 1 and follow through for the 5 in the top left. Surprised they didn't go after the 1 there. Very surprised. He's going to be able to move it if he gets an angle going to the left off the 5, but a little bit of uncertainty of where the 1's going to end up. It's the shot of the rack here. Just gonna hope for a shot on the 2. If not, the 3's there. He doesn't have the 2. Looks like the 3 is just barely full pocket. They'll have the proper angle on the 2 to come back for the 1 on the next shot.
Oh,
He's overhit it. Still options, but the overall path to getting to the 8 will be a little tougher now. Gonna have to end up with some kind of straight type angle on the 2. Might have to end up going rail first to get over onto the right side of the table for the 8. Oh, wasn't afraid to involve the 12 there, got past it. Watch the cueing here, all ball fouls. Shot.
It's a tricky
Staring the hill in the face here. Yeah, didn't quite stay in line as he would have liked, but recovered nicely in this 8 ball to get on the hill.
No problem whatsoever. So it is the Taiwanese who reaches the hill at 9-7. Another Taiwanese on the hill. It's Woo Kun Lin. He's suffered a big comeback from Bader Alawahadi. He was something like 5-1 up in that at one stage. Alawahadi came all the way back to tie at 8-8. It's now Woo Kun Lin 9-8 on the hill. Josh Villa still 8-7 on Chang Jung Lin. Alex Kazakis has pulled another one back. He now trails the Dutchman by just 1 rack at 7 racks to 6. Marco Teutsch looking to get into his first semi-final of a big tournament ever. Conrad JUSZCZYSZYN, Puerto Rico Open champion, in danger of bowing out of this year's WPA Yalin World Men's 8-Ball Championships.
Look for that 4 ball tracking towards the right side pocket.
What about the 15 into the left-hand side pocket, Eric? What do you reckon to that one? Might we see that this time?
A little less likely with the square one.
Balls down. Looking good here, Eric. Talk us through this one.
Yeah, wide open rack. kind of equal on both suits. Maybe small favorite to the stripes here. If he goes solids, he can take the 2 first. I think he's going to go with stripes, though, just because of how the 8's position. It's not available to any of the bottom pockets, blocked by stripes. No problems, really. Just going to have to keep the cue ball in line here.
9-7 now. Josh Villa on the hill over Chang Jung Lin will be breaking for the match and a place in the semi-final, where he will play either Woo Kun Lin or Bader Al Wahadi. The winner of this one will face either Marco Toicha or Alex Kazakis.
Been a nicely contested match. If anything, made the difference of just a few more break-in runs from Julian. Had about 5 total in the match.
Those 2 mistakes from JUSZCZYSZYN on his final 5 ball and then on that 8 ball are the reason, or one of the reasons, he's 2 racks behind Eric. It could have been such a different story had things have gone a little bit differently on his final balls there.
Yeah, the 8 ball was a big turning point, no doubt.
All looks pretty straightforward from here, Eric, doesn't it?
Yeah. This will be the deepest he's been in a major. Every once in a while, you'll see a kind of new player break through, and it looks like this is his time.
Three shots away from a place in the semi-final. 9-9 now, hill between Bader Al Wahadi and Woo Kun Lin. This one looks all but over. So
straight in
here it is.
8.
This 8 ball for, you have to say, a deserved place in the semi-final. In it goes. Remains me to thank my co-commentator, Eric Horlifson. Thank you so much, Eric. It's always a pleasure. I am back with Chris Reinhold for the next match, and that will be between Shasha Liu and Christina to catch the quarter-final of the Women's World 9-Ball Championships. That's coming up very, very shortly on this table right